Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, Minister, and thank you so much. But I have a complaint to start with. I'm told by my team...
Most of them do.
This is the first time you're officially speaking at a NASSCOM event.
Well, you should ask the NASSCOM people why.
We have to change that. We absolutely have to change that, but welcome. And this is such an important event. And I'll start where Kishore ended, where he said that the decade belongs to ER&D. It is, the future is ER&D. If ER&D is the future, then Karnataka, which is our very own innovation hub, tech hub in India, it has to lead this future. So that's the starting point. And Minister, you have played such a pivotal role in positioning Karnataka as a leader in tech. In fact, personally, whenever I talk about Karnataka or I think of Karnataka as a tech hub for India, you are synonymous with it. You also have come out with a bold vision of transforming the state into $1 trillion digital economy by 2030, and that's just 5 years from now. So what are those make or break imperatives? What are those really big opportunities that has to happen? And what are some of the risks that you worry the most about in order to get to this number?
Oh, well, like you rightly said, Karnataka has always been breaking boundaries when it comes to creating newer technologies and creating newer economies through innovation. And we intend to create a $1 trillion digital economy as well in the state. And to ensure that we don't lose focus on this, we have formed the Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, where we have great people leading it. And we are identifying the digital divide that is there first. I also happen to, besides the being Minister of Information Technology, Electronics and Biotechnology, I also happen to be the Minister for Panchayat Raj and Rural Development, and I have a ringside view of the digital economy trends in the rural areas as well. So firstly, we are identifying the digital divide that is there in the rural areas, the tier 2 towns versus the urban sector. We're trying to bridge that by investing heavily in digital infrastructure, which will be the backbone of carrying these digital innovations or digital economic trends to the bottom of the pyramid. And number 3, we are trying to evaluate how we can have better e-governance delivery to our citizens. So I think almost all of Karnataka's citizen service deliveries are happening online. And fourthly, we are investing heavily on R&D and skilling in these things. So creating awareness, ensuring we have the right skill sets across the sectors, across verticals, that is going to trickle down to the rural areas, to the tier 2 towns, will ensure that the digital economy that we intend to create will not just be for the state, but will also have a cascading effect across the nation. So as always, whether it's our Panchayat Raj institutions that are leading the way in e-governance, to our citizen programs that we are delivering, and of course we engage with a lot of startups to constantly learn from them. So I think, yes, we are headed in the right direction, and we have the right intent, we have the right talent pool, we have the adequate funding for these things, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of learning, not only for the ecosystem here, but for the entire country as well.
It's a very interesting model that you just called out, right? Because this is the first time, at least I have heard of a digital model, a digital framework that starts with the Panchayat. It's you're reversing the lens completely.
You'll be quite surprised. So I have access to how many meetings a Panchayat has conducted. I know what is their perspective plan. I know where my Panchayat development officers are there, whether they're working or not. We have geofenced them. So their attendance is now online. So he or she cannot just sit in the district headquarters and say, I have gone and worked there. They get salaries paid because of their
Wow.
e-attendance. So, although I'm not very popular for that, but we have moved, and we are rating all our 6,000, 7,000 odd panchayats by quintiles method. I know who are the top performers. I know who are the bottom performing panchayats. We collect taxes in villages using POS machines. And now people are warming up to it. Last year, we have collected close to around 18 to 20% of our entire taxes through digital means. So we are moving ahead.
No, this is fantastic, because when you think of the panchayat, there is no more powerful a change agent than the panchayat, right? I mean, that's where you can have real impact, and you can also scale. You can significantly scale. So fantastic. And then thinking backwards and thinking of, the infrastructure, the highways, the digital highways, the skills, the R&D, the startup ecosystem, all sort of the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle, it sort of falls beautifully into place.
So that, like you mentioned, the digital infrastructure is very important.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it
yeah,
doesn't work.
yeah.
So while the mobile rural internet penetration is very high in Karnataka, close to around 94%, we also are encouraging companies to go and set up multiple telecom infrastructure over there,
Yeah.
not only for cellular, but also for other digital infrastructure that will be required to ensure that we govern better, so we deliver better to the citizens.
Now, given the transformative powers we are seeing from artificial intelligence, truly is a general purpose technology now. I think after electricity, steam, this is the next big general purpose technology that is emerging. What is the role of artificial intelligence in the blueprint that you are building out? Where do you see it play?
Well, we are trying it out within our governance. Like in the earlier session, the gentleman, Dr. Paul, was talking about how we can automate tasks, how we can automate processes. That's something that we are doing. In fact, I run one of, I think I'm the only department running a AI chatbot for grievance redressals for citizen services in panchayats. As of now, it's in beta stage, and I think close to around 3.5 lakh users are on it. So somebody from my village can actually figure out any kind of service that he needs, or any kind of grievances that he or she has. He can just upload it, and it just falls in my commissionerate here in Bangalore for action to be taken. So we are using AI as a big model, and there was this report from nasscom which said about AI adaptability index, saying that it's going to infuse $500 billion by the end of next year. And if that is the case, I want a pie of it. I want a big share of
a large pie of it.
Yes, a large pie of it. And there was this other report as well of, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the IBM Global Adaptability Report in AI. India's human resource, or India's companies, are able to adapt AI at 57%, whereas the global AI adaptability is only 25%.
Yeah.
And in the last couple of years, companies, governments have invested only close to around 3.8 or $4 billion. And USA alone has invested close to around $49 billion. But the adaptability and the AI skill penetration in India is number 3. We are only behind USA, Germany. So there is a lot of willingness to learn, unlearn, relearn, skill, reskill, upskill ourselves. So I think we are very serious about it. The government of Karnataka runs a center of excellence in AI along with the Indian Institute of Science. We are trying to get it out of that and ensure that we engage with the larger community and the industry bodies like yourselves. So AI is going to play a big role. And the government also is gearing up for AI with its processes and tasks. And we are experimenting in different departments as well, even whether AI in healthcare and med products. I have met a lot of startups who are engaging with the Department of Medical Education for their processes of surgeries and others using AI, also in healthcare. So yeah, so the government is put its best foot forward for AI.
In fact, the potential in sectors like healthcare is so huge. You know, my friend Puneet Chandok, who runs Microsoft in India, he was telling me he had taken a family member to a hospital and they were all waiting for the senior most doctor who's so busy, and they don't want to go to a junior doctor because of lack of expertise. Now imagine using AI to bridge that gap, and what it can do for healthcare and what it can do for service. So I'm so glad you said that's a priority sector, because I think that's one of the key sectors. Now, what is powering the AI revolution? There are three things: compute, data, talent, right? Now, while compute is being led large extent by the industry coming in directly and the central government, etc., the AI mission, can Karnataka aspire to lead, to really be seen as a leader in terms of data? And it's not just how much data you have, but how much of that data is good data, how much of data is accessible. That is what's most important. And of course, world-class talent.
Well, we are the leaders right now. So, number one. And the government also, in most of the departments, have their data opened up for industries and for corporates and also for startups. Like the transport department gives out data for them to work on for mobility and everything. But I get your point about trying to ensure how we can work with data that's available across sectors, across verticals, to ensure we build the best innovations and inventions. For that, I think we will be coming up with more unified policy for data sharing with respect to government agencies. Having said that, like you rightly pointed out, computing is there, data is there, they're taken care of by the private sector or the corporates. Skilling is something that is a very big pain point, I think, for people across the globe. It's just not for India. Because I've been to the Bay Area, I've been to Europe recently, and everybody talks only about one thing, that is employable talent. And I'd like to assure everybody over here that the government of Karnataka is extremely serious about this, and we will ensure that the best and the most well-trained human resources are delivered from Karnataka. We've already set up a skilling council that's headed by me for emerging technologies. We have 9 different working groups who are suggesting to us. The government is not dreaming up of these jobs. We are talking to industry bodies. We are talking to Cisco with respect to cybersecurity. We are talking to Intel what we can do. We are talking to Siemens Healthineers on what kind of professionals they need for healthcare. So these things are coming from the industry. And we are telling the industry, look, you need employable engineers. We are ready to help you train them. Just give us your curriculum. We will pay some money, you pay some money, use it through CSR, use it through your corporate development fund, or we'll also engage with the individual to ensure they also put up some money so that, we make them skill ready, so that they will be able to deliver much more quickly for the corporate. And we are coming up with a program soon wherein the graduates of Karnataka will be the most skilled. So you get skilled locally, but you work globally. So that's we are investing huge in emerging in skill sets for emerging technologies. It's one of the cornerstones of the government's policies.
And that can be the strongest competitive advantage.
True.
Any state can have.
In fact, we have something called the Global Innovation Alliance, wherein we have tied up with over 33 countries from my department, and I have suggested to them, let us have a skill corridor with each one of you. So let's say
Brilliant.
Melbourne requires sports tech skill sets, we are ready to deliver. So London needs fintech skill sets, we are ready to deliver. The Silicon Valley needs semiconductors, chip designers on scale, we are ready to deliver.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we should engage with the industry bodies to ensure that they give us the right skill set so that we can deliver as well.
Now, I think on behalf of the industry, I would request you, given the work that you're already putting into it, focus on three things. First, we need to have standards for digital skills. It's not just lacking in India, it's lacking everywhere. So when you say world class and when say another state or another country says world class, what do you all mean? Are you all talking the same language or is each one defining it differently? I think it would be fantastic, Minister, if Karnataka could take the lead in developing the standards for digital skills, not just for India, but for the world.
Be rest assured we'll do that, yes.
Huge gap.
Definitely.
The second thing is, when I talk to all the big tech guys, or everyone who's building all these AI models today, and one question I have for them is nationality of the core group working on models. Without fail, Indian, right? Now, if most of these absolutely brilliant complex models are being developed by Indians, the next question is, why are they doing it here and why are they not doing, why are they doing it there and why are they not doing it here, right? And there are two things that come up in these discussions. One, they all go there for their PhD. And I think we have to look at how do we improve that ecosystem in India so people can find compelling opportunities to further their education in India and then work on these complex. So that's another area I would request you look into. And then the third one is India really has to build a mood for innovation. We love science because it gets us great jobs, but we have to start loving science for what it can do.
Oh, well,
long wish list, sorry.
Yeah, no. I think it's all about getting in the right policies. And how do I get the right policies? It's only through forums like these that we get to hear from the industry or industry bodies to advocate for policies like this. And Government of Karnataka has always been very receptive, whether it's our engineering and research development policy, animation policy, or our startup policy. We've engaged with the industry very closely, and that's why we are such a good state economically today. And we are the fourth largest technology cluster. We are number 4 even in the innovation cluster. We are one of the top 5. We are the fifth in the top 50 AI cities. We are number 5. It's only because we are ready to adapt and change our policies as quickly as the industry demands it. And that's also because of the great education system that we have here. We have close to around 250 engineering colleges, 44 medical colleges, 44 universities, thousands of medical colleges, 1,777 ITIs and GTTs were training. So this ecosystem is good, and then that graduates to institutes like Indian Institute of Science, C.V. Raman Institute, we have the NIMANS Institute, and centers of excellence that is run by the Department of IT itself. I run close to around 20 centers of excellence, right from animation to AI, agri-tech to aerospace. And we need to keep adapting. So like now we want to come up with a center of excellence for manufacturing process. We want to come up with a center of excellence for gaming. We want to come up with a center of excellence in med products. So all these have been announced. We put the budgets in place. We are looking for industry partners. We have found some. And that's how these, this will propel the talent. So people going abroad might end up doing here because the same technology is being used here. The same people whom they're going to work are going to be here because the anchors are GCCs, the Global Capability Centers. So we'll have the Fortune 500 companies anchoring these centers of excellence. We'll need to create newer research institutes. So yes, it's always a work in progress, but always the industry advocacy helps us accelerate that. And I think we are on course, and probably we need a bit of acceleration, and that will be done.
No, you are one of the best listeners when it comes to industry giving feedback. So thank you for that. And it's not just listening, but also taking action. My last question, Minister, is you've already set the goal of $1 trillion digital economy by 2030. But when you look at Karnataka, maybe in the next 10 to 15 years, let's say 2040, today we are known as the Silicon Valley of India. What do you think we should be known as in that time frame? What should Karnataka stand for to the world?
Well, personally, I don't like the word
I
Silicon
don't
Valley
too.
of
I don't
India.
either. Thank
Because
you.
we have got our own ecosystem here. We
I
have built
agree.
it to this thing. We are more agile than most of the ecosystem. What took Silicon Valley to achieve over 60, 70 years, we have done it in half the time. And we are able to scale better. We are able to do things much better here because of whatever reasons, the Indian way of doing things perhaps. So having said that, my vision for the next decade or a decade and a half would be to create more Bengalurus across Karnataka. So Bengaluru is a great model. Let's go beyond Bengaluru. Let's create at least a minimum of 4 to 5 hubs like Bengaluru, which will attract great education, which will attract great talent, which will attract investments, and which will create employment. So I think beyond Bengaluru is something that is very close and very interesting for the state as well. Number one. Number two, I think I want to position Karnataka not as an investment destination. Everybody does that. I want to position ourselves as a destination for knowledge and skills.
Love it.
And I think if we are able to anchor the narrative of knowledge and skill for the state, everything will come by itself.
Amen.
And yes, of course, that will lead to innovation. And I'm sure, mark my words, in the next 10 to 15 years, Karnataka will not be innovating only for the nation, but they will be innovating for the world.
Minister, all I'll say is may the force continue to be strong with you. You are doing fantastic work. And on behalf of the industry, I do want to thank you because recently when there were some troubling times and we were all very worried, he was the first person to call to say, we are there with you, do not worry, we are going to get this right, we'll figure this out. It meant a lot.
Thank you so much.
And I think it helped the industry tremendously just to know that you are there with us.
The government of Karnataka is always there with you.
Thank you.
We are a government. This is your government. This is a government
you.
that listens. This is a government that acts.
Thank you, and thank you so much. And I hope, I'm glad that this is a great starting point. And to the team, we have to ensure this happens annually. This cannot be the last one. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.